Now, I have pointed 5. The 6th mistake that I am picking up is that I'm supposed to be teaching you how to write press releases. When I got that, I was like to myself, just how am I going to do it? Right? I'll be talking to people who have been in the field, in the industry, right, for years. And the time that I have is not even enough to say, you start the intro like this, and then you go to the second paragraph, and then you do this and that, right? It's teaching. The word teaching is wrong. You don't teach people to change the way they have been doing things for 10 years, 20 years in 45 minutes. You don't. Right? So it's the choice of words. So choice of words are also part of how you communicate effectively. I'm supposed to talk about press releases, but I need to talk about, because a press release is a way of communicating, right? You don't write a press release with no sense of communicating, right? So before you start writing that press release, you need to start to ask yourself, how am I going to communicate this, right? I've spoken about the word teaching as one of the wrongly words that were used, because teaching is a process. It takes years, right? For one to become a doctor, you take 5-7 years. That is after you have done your high school, right? So I'm not going to teach. We are going to have a conversation, because I need to know where you are now. I need to know how you have been doing things. And from my side, as someone who has led teams in the media, then I will also have to explain that this is how it should be done, this is how it shouldn't be done. I'm very much aware that most of our young guys who are in the media today, because they send some of the questions to me, those that I work with, those that I've worked with, they send questions. Can you check these questions for us? I go through those questions. They are not questions that are asking for a precise answer. And if those questions come to you, you as a communications person, you don't know how to answer them, right? And if you hazard to answer questions that you don't understand, you give the wrong answers. Those wrong answers will end up in the paper, and tomorrow then there will be an issue where you'll be coming to say, we were misquoted. You were not misquoted, but it's either the language, either the questions, or the understanding from the part of us in the media and from the part of you, communication breakdown, right? I could go on and on to talk about the origins of the word communication in Latin, but it comes from the word communicare, right? Care, which means you have to be careful with what you do. Every single, even a comma or a full stop makes a huge difference. You place the comma where it is not supposed to be, it gives a wrong meaning. A full stop where it is not supposed to be, a wrong meaning, right? You kept a word that shouldn't be kept. Someone will read it wrongly, right? So when we talk about communication, we are talking about being careful, the choice of words, the information that you need to put out, right? And you also have to make sure that whatever information you are sending out is the information that must be sent out. Don't be careless. If you are careless with information, then it will all come down. then it will be you, right? So I've I've actually done something here, but I will have to send this to you because we can spend the whole hour with me saying here and there and there and there. So I've given you what I think. For this conversation to go on, I need to hear from you now. What are the things that you feel, right, us in the media are not doing right? What do you wish? Right? After that, then we can move on to the next things that we can talk about. Right. Let me get to hear your concerns. Any concerns? Yeah.
This is what I got from my kid.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now I'll explain it. So if there are no concerns, then let me move on. Yes. I would prefer to have your name or your company and yeah.
My name is Adam Shilongo.
Yes.
The officer of minority council.
Yes.
One thing I have observed is that when we are very careful when we are sending out our communication.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I've seen, not all of the media, probably not the media here, is that some media want to twist the story.
Twist.
To attract the attention of the readers, and in the process,
Yeah.
they are no longer careful in spreading the message.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see them probably putting the correct, even if they are putting it in their own way,
Yeah.
they should always write the correct position.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My name is David Gambode, chairperson of the management at Pata Council. Yeah, what I observe most of the time when media publishing their affairs, they started with outdated information or profile of a person. For example, somebody did something.
Mm.
And then before they go to the current news, they start with unnecessary stories behind, I don't know, maybe finding or something.
All right. Like I said earlier on, this is a communications thing. We need to be very precise. If we say unnecessary things, they are unnecessary things to who? Because this is how the media works. I will actually come back to him. We've got very young people in the newsrooms today, very inexperienced. Most of the senior guys, they are among you. They left, so we are actually stuck with very young people. This is why, if something comes through, whoever is checking it, he has to be very careful, right? So I always tell some of my colleagues that it's not something that you can just say because it has come from this reporter, they are claiming to have spoken to this person, therefore that is what we are going with. You check. Now it's called fact checking, right? So an editor who knows what they do, they fact check, right? So you call the guy, come here, did the person say this? It's actually better now because most of the times we say record, right? So give me that recording. And most of the stories then we have to rework them according to what we would have listened to, right? But I'm not saying this concern doesn't exist. It is actually there. Sensationalization is also there, where for a story to be interesting, you twist it, right? By twisting it along the lines, you lose what the person would have said. because you are trying to make the story sound, according to you, better, right? Because if the story doesn't sound better, then people won't even be interested. This is exactly why the unnecessary information comes in, right? If somebody gets a promotion today and someone searches Google, then they get to find out, no, this person was arrested for this, right? So then it will then have to depend on the last person to check the story to see whether the arrest has got anything to do with what this person has become, right? So we call that in the media sector ethics. But then we know if we just push a story about someone being promoted and then there's this thing that is following him and we don't mention it, right? But before we mention it, if it's me who is checking, I will ask whoever would have done the story to say, can you go back to this person and ask them what happened to this, so that we get the latest information. That's exactly how it works. Now, the selection of words, people can paraphrase. I can say what I'm saying now, and when you go out, you tell that to someone else goes to tell someone else. By the time it gets to the fifth person, it's different, right? There are 4 people who wrote about Jesus. But if you read their books, you will ask yourself, were they all there? Because it's not the same. That's exactly the same with us in the media, right? Any other concern? Mm-hmm.
Good morning. My name is Asteria Njenja. I'm from Ministry of ICT, Chief Media Officer, and I'm also an editor of the Namibia Review magazine.
Mm-hmm.
You've actually mentioned a few, fact-checking and all. Another thing I think that I have realized is communicating via social media.
Mm-hmm.
Without, it's kind of a press statement, but it's just typed out there on social media.
Okay.
No authentication or anything. And especially when we use WhatsApp,
Mm-hmm.
I will just write press statement or media statement just in the WhatsApp messaging block.
Yeah.
And then I send it out. It can go as far as it can,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't show really that I am the author. Even if I put my name there, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that we have picked up. You just receive something via WhatsApp, and then normally when you authenticate something, you put a stamp on it,
Mm.
if it's now a document.
Yeah.
But with social media nowadays, I can just type it out and send.
Okay.
It can disappear from,
Yeah.
it can come from anywhere else.
All right.
Fact checking, there is now AI.
Mm.
So we are now using AI in the newsroom. I work with very young people, and it's very interesting how they use AI. And what we forget with AI is to put a human touch on some of the statements that we write.
Mm.
They sound so robotic. So I thought maybe those are some of the things that we should look at. How can we navigate
Yeah.
around AI and make our statements sound like they're written by human beings.
Okay.
Because, what I picked up also sometimes, when you tell AI to write a story for you or something for you, it can even give you a quote.
Mm.
It can generate a quote for you, a
Yeah.
quotation from
Yeah.
somebody, but that's not what the person said.
All right.
Yes, so
Okay.
maybe look at something
All right. So
as well.
let me start by saying this. I'll come back to you because now you are doing your work at the most interesting time, right? Why am I saying the most interesting time? It's because 20 years back, right, people would have to, send written stuff on paper and And 20 years back, print media was print media, right? It was print. 20 years back, radio was radio. And 20 years back, TV was TV. The reason why I'm saying you are doing your work at the most interesting time is because you have got so many platforms to use now. And you are not only producing a press release for print, right? Every media house here that I know, I'm fortunate that I've been around the block, right? Once I get bored, I just wake up one morning, I'm like, I'm actually done here. They have got radio stations. If it's not a radio station that has got some frequencies, it's a Facebook thing, right? So the most interesting part of your job today is you need to produce press releases, not the way they were produced 20 years back, right? You have to supply radio, you supply print, you supply TV. What's up? If you are sending the press release that you are talking about with no stamp, because there's no way that you can get a stamp and no, you can't. So what do you do to make it authentic? You put a voice to it, right? An audio press release. This is how easy it has become now. You read that press release and you sign it off, right? Or with your WhatsApp thing, you do a video recording, right? Now, you send those formats. And that's why I'm saying, and it's so easy for you today because if you can't write, at least you can talk, right? And if you can talk, at least you can be on video, right? At least people will actually say, we have picked 1, 2, 3 things here. So the time has gone where you would rely on just writing for the preprint. And I've seen some of the guys in the media today, they are so lazy that you send them a press release, they will be asking you, we want an audio, right? You send them an audio, someone will come and say, we want a video, right? So you need to be upfront to say that press release that you will send written, then you also have to say video before they can ask you. Don't allow them to ask you. Then you produce for all the platforms, right? Artificial intelligence is a very interesting development. I use it quite often, but I don't use it to write for me. By the way, I've written 6 books, and my last book was published this year in February, right? I write, but when I feed it on AI, I want AI to clean it up for me, right? But even if when you feed it and you don't give it the necessary commands, it will give you something else, right? I also use it for research, because what AI does is it goes in and then searches throughout. Then it will be showing you that this information is from this source, but it can lie, right? I was editing a mining story last night, and there was a paragraph where artificial intelligence said the Hope and Gorob mine belonged to Carnival company and that, but I know it belongs to another company. And then I had to ask it again, are you sure? And then it says, no, that information is wrong. So you can use AI, but you need to know. You need to have information. So like what she said, type it in, write this story for me, it can generate fictitious quotes, right? Then you go in, because there was a time when I started using it, I would play around with it. Give me this story, then it will generate it complete with quotes. Then you go in back and say, can you give me the sources for this quote? Then it will come back and say, it's journalistic work. I'm like, but I am the journalist, not you. So most young people, they want to do the things the easy way. And most AI-generated stories, they start the same. It's mechanical. And one of the words that I pick up to say this story is AI generated, it uses the word stated. Instead of saying said. So if you send to me a press release with stated, it's from there. Now if you say said, it removes it. So AI is programmed in such a way that some of the words, it actually takes the old words that we know and brings in, right? So can I encourage you to use AI? Yes. Can I not encourage you to use AI? Yes. Right. The first yes is because you need to know what you are looking for. You need to have a background information that you can ask AI to verify for you. You need to challenge it because it will give you wrong stuff, even wrong names. Most of the times it is still referring to Tom Alwendo as the mines minister, right? Yes. So if you are not careful, then it will give you those other things. So the yes part is you must take charge. Write your press release, put in all the information, then you ask it to clean it up for you in terms of language, in terms of sentence construction, tightening it up. That it can actually do. But if you leave everything to it, then that's a no. It will give you wrong information, and you end up. There was a case that I read on Monday, right? A whole law firm, they asked a graduate researcher to prepare for their case. That guy used AI. It generated non-existent cases. So when the judge was trying to find where those cases were, they are not even there. So that is a no. But before I move on, the most important part for you as a communicator is to know every aspect of your company. I edit annual reports. The things that I come across, some of the annual reports, I retain them because I can't make sense of it. So that is part of your work as well, where you have to put those annual reports together. And I know you may not be that expert who knows every aspect of the company, but you have to make sure that the company that you work for, if someone calls you for answers, it is a good thing to say, give me until tomorrow. But that doesn't give a good impression, right? It will be like, let me get back to you in 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, you have everything here, right? So I know some of the people who have just gone into the communication sector because it's comfortable. Right? But you need to know about the company that you are representing because you are the face of it, right? They are communications officers who are notorious for not picking up their phones. You call them, you can't. And it has taken me in most cases where my young guys will be like, this one is not picking up, this one is not picking up. And it has taken me to call and ask, why are you not picking up? So once I call, they pick up, right? And that doesn't reflect well on the guys. Now, it's better someone calls you, pick up, listen to them. You are not a computer who has got answers all the time. Tell them, I'm going to find this out, right? I sent questions to the seat of Windhoek. She keeps on coming back to me to say, I'm still waiting. And this morning, she also came back to say, I'm still waiting, I haven't forgotten, right? So if the information is not coming through, tell the people that I'm still waiting. Don't ignore, right? So if you ignore and the story is already written, this is what you guys must know. The story is already there. You ignore. Some media houses, they'll say, we are giving you 24 hours, right, flat, right? So you ignore, they go on. So it will be left to you now to clean it up. So if you don't have the information, tell the person, give that person time. And if you can't get it within the time that you would have said you are going to get back to them, be the first one to say, I'm still searching, right? Because there in the newsroom, the editors will be like, where is that story? Where is this and where is this? So the pressure builds up, right? So if the pressure builds up here and the pressure is building up there, then the story will just go in. And the next thing that you guys will be saying, they just write without comments. So a good communicator, if you have the information, you give. If you don't have, just be very honest to say, this will take me time, but I am working on it. There are people who actually stop answering their phones. Some will disappear. You won't even get to know them. So communication means you have to reach out to the person to say, look, I'm still searching. And if you can't get it, there's nothing wrong to say, I don't have that, and I've tried, I can't get it. But what is your story? Get to understand what the story is, then you can work from there. Yeah?
Oh, no.
Mm. What was the question?
It was, the name is Novizo Shipanga from Windhoek Municipal Police Service.
Okay.
I actually wanted to go deeper on the story of the case law.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out whether you find it a bit lazy, because you find that AI is extracting information from you. So it's just telling you to go deeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how do you now submit case law without actually researching?
Mm.
Did it really happen this way? Are the facts like this? And what was the outcome?
Mm.
Don't you find it a bit lazy? But I think you answered it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I started my career at a time when there were no mobile phones. The newsrooms were actually tough. So we had to walk, right? You were asked to walk. If you are a junior and you are just starting, the seniors, because they were typewriters, those pack. So each one senior guy had their own. You had to beg them to use. So for you to be allowed to use them, you were supposed to be sent to go and buy a drink, to go to the library and bring files, because way back then media houses had these big libraries, because they would cut stories and then catalog them. Then if there's a story that is being researched, it's not like now where you just have to type and then it comes up. You were supposed to go and bring all those other things. So we were taught to work hard. And to get a byline, you had to work for it. But here, you go and cover a press conference, the first thing that you write, even before you write the headline, by so-and-so. So that never happened. So what I also get from students is the laziness. People are becoming journalists today not because they've got passion for it. It's what is there, what can be done easily. You want a degree, you go in, right? So you can ask someone in the newsroom today, can you go and do this? They will be like, where's the car? Who is taking me there? Now it was never like that hard. But look, universities too, some of us who do some work there, we are also lazy. So we might have gotten those qualifications in a lazy way, and that laziness, we pass it on. People are not just tough, right? So that also pervades through companies, right? So if you hear people talking about that company, you can't even get any comment. They are talking about someone who is in charge of information. So what I was explaining here is, you may not be in charge of certain technological information. Your job is to source that information and then pass it on, right? So you become the link, right? Dr. Mamate was explaining in the morning that what they are doing now is a communications person has to be where the meetings are, right? So you get it from whatever is going on. If someone calls, you don't have to say, I need to find from the CEO. You were there. You heard what the CEO would have said. Therefore, you give the answer right there and then. So you need to be part of everything that goes on in your company. By being part of everything that goes on in your company, then you own the information. Someone calls you, you rattle off. This is like this and that and that and that. And of course, you can't have it all. But you need to have 90% of it. Right? Anything else? Yeah?
Sorry. I just want to borrow also from your well of knowledge. Maybe you can take us through communication. Yes, there is, we communicate. But let's add in comprehension and also getting feedback. If you can also take us through that.
Okay, I always tell people that I learn new things every day. I become so uncomfortable to be put up on a higher pedestal. And this is exactly why I said this session is not about me teaching you, but about it's me listening to you, giving me your concerns, and then us agreeing to say this is the way things are supposed to be done. And it's not only that I am grandstanding to say I learn new things every day. I do. Even new English words, like some are like, okay. But then you said what again? Because I was thinking, okay. Right. So we actually go back again, where I said earlier on that your job is so much easier now than it used to be. So for you is to have the information ready, right? And how do you do that? How do you do that? You need to, anything that happens within your company, even if no one has come to ask for that information, keep it somewhere. Keep a journal, type it. There's this meeting that has happened. There's this event that has happened. Just in case, you never know who will come knocking on your door to say, I'm looking for this information. But look, it has become so easy today to get feedback. Because why? Mobile phones, right? People simply call. If there is a misunderstanding, a press release that is not clear, people call, right? And this is a two-way kind of thing. And even you, where you are not sure of what the media person wants, you call to ask them, right? What exactly is it that you want, right? Give me exactly what is it that you want, and then they can explain. That is just one. Calls. Now, most of the ministries, companies, they've got social media platforms. That's where you get the real judgment, right? You put something up there where you didn't check the facts. You get people coming to say, this is not it, right? So the feedback that you are looking for, you just go and put something that will make people talk, and you will see, right? So feedback is there. That is true. Now, the other thing that must happen between the media and the people who are in communications is creating a relationship. Yeah. You need to visit, right? Just for no reason, right? Guys, we have just come to say hi and what, just for no reason. Don't visit a media house when you are going to clean up issues. Don't. Just go there, get to know the people that you are dealing with. Because this is a relationship. It's a give and take, right? I know there was a class of communicators who hated the media for all what it takes. But today, either you visit, you go and greet people for no reason, just go. That is one other thing. And you can get feedback. You can have conversations with the people there. The other thing is, and I know those companies with money, departments with money, they can buy beer, say, come, we have got a media day, and then the journalists go there, but you won't get anything once there's beer, because so you need to have this one on one. So when it comes to feedback, it's not something that you can ask people. Just do something and then people will actually come. So what you are doing today, it has been made very easy. And like way back then. Things are readily there, and even if you want to research, things are there. A company that was started way before you started working for that company, you can actually search. Way back, you had to go and drag files and files. Then you had to go and, but now Google it. But even if when you Google, just be careful of the source. Don't just say anything that comes up is what it is, right? You have to check again. Now I go back to fact checking, right? You need to fact check your work. You fact check anything and everything, especially figures, dates, names, events. Check them out. right? So feedback, these days you don't have to go and ask. People will come with it, right? Mm-hmm.
Thank you. My name is Eric Ndawani, chairperson of the Regional Council. I'm from the political space,
Mm-hmm.
and I find it quite interesting to talk about the issue of media and effective communication. But from that space,
Yeah.
so we experience some of the challenges. But of course, we understand ourselves as public figures. And at some point, the media reporters, not all of them, some of them,
Mm-hmm.
so provokes our mind also to think about, are these some media report for the sake of news, or are they reporting on a certain issue because they want to alert the public, or is it because of some commercial basis? Because at some point,
Mm-hmm.
a person who can report on something without even engaging the person, then we just see something running through the media. Now you ask yourself, the ethics of this particular media,
Mm.
was it up to the standard or what happened then?
Okay.
But of course, in relation to that,
Mm.
do the media consider the provision of the Constitution? We've got chapter number 3
Mm.
that provides for the fundamental human rights. In terms of the defamation of character
Mm.
of the public figures, are the media being called to order if they are infringing
Mm.
the rights to the privacy of some individuals? So because, like political figures, most of the time, whatever newspaper you go, you find them becomes headlines. But in terms of the provision of the Constitution, Article number 13,
Mm.
the rights to privacy, you end up people encroaching the privacy of some individuals. Now, how do you see it from the media perspective? That me as
All
an
right.
individual that I propose.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you.
I need to explain this because you will one day find yourself in a position where you will have to defend your boss, right? You will find yourself in that position. But look, there's public interest, right? Now, what does public interest mean? Right? The right to know, right? And privacy, where does it end and start, right? When you feel that it has been infringed, at what point do you really say that, no, someone has gone beyond here, right? So these are all things that us in the media space, we may not think along those lines, but it has become second nature where if a story comes in, you have to think about all those things. Public interest goes with the right to know, right? The word public means that you surrender part of your private life. And of course, it may not be about your bedroom issues.
A good day, audience. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
We noticed that there's a huge appetite for this presentation, so maybe just a general consensus. Would you want the gentleman to continue? Then the presentation that was supposed to come after this one can be moved to tomorrow. Is that fine? May he continue?
It's also up to him.
I will communicate.
Huh?
It's also up to him.
No, I can go up to 3:30.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Thanks.
So how does that affect other activities for tomorrow?
No, it's just that 2 presentations were supposed to happen in here, but it's fine since the gentleman can go until 3:30. He can go all the way until 3:30.
Yeah.
No, nothing's going to be affected. It will still be as it is. Okay. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
The AI in communication and these sections structured.
No, not yet. So I'm actually going room by room, trying to inform the presenters to wrap it up, so that those who are interested in the next presentation, the very last room is AI, then they can actually join as well.
Because we like, I don't know how many colleagues I get, but I know I'm one of them that is interested in the
AI here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We already discussed AI.
Okay, we'll just leave it up until the time is proposed.
Yeah.
It's proposing, then we'll just
Okay.
communicate on the other side.
All right. So I need to respond to what I was explaining. The lines are blurred, right? But it all depends on who is handling this story. I worked at Informante at a time when we could just put out anything and everything. And Informante was a free paper, so every Thursday our phones will be off. Until the day when the story about the late founding president went in, yes, which was, everything about that story was wrong, right? Everything about that story was wrong, and my editor didn't listen to me. Because when that thing about the founding president being sick as not to walk and having been airlifted to Cape Town, I came in and I said, we can't write this story because it has got gaps. Let us find out the clinic in Cape Town. Let us find out how he got there. Let us have the times when he was taken there. That information didn't come through. Unfortunately, I left the newsroom early, and the story then, after I had left, it was just put together. So when we talk about privacy, things like someone's health, they are considered along those lines. Sex life, yes, because there is about Minister MP Shifeta's case that is making the rounds now. That one, he has forfeited the privacy part because it's coming from the police. But what the media is doing now is giving names of people even before they appear in court, right? So I had questions when we started naming the Enecon guys, Ims Mulunga and all those. It didn't matter, we knew. But the fact is that you don't give people's names before they appear in court. But we have crossed that line, right? So the constitutional things that you are quoting in the newsroom, when it's breathtaking, no one thinks about it. We have to be the first to break the story. We have to be the first to give the name. We have to be the first to do. And a lot of things has gone the other way. So we are doing most of the things wrongly. But we are doing that in the hope that people have got the right to know, right? So the right to know trumps the privacy, right? Someone who is not known, right? Even if we write about them being found where people will be like, but who are these people? Check Pohamba Shifeta's story, the comments. So something has given. Along the lines, the media has lost it in such a way that there's too much competition. Because the issue now is, if the media doesn't put it out, someone will put it out. Now, it's the same thing with the press releases that you guys put out. before the newspapers tomorrow, that press release is everywhere. And that is the reason why most newspapers are dying, because they've got nothing new, right? Social media, WhatsApp especially, the press releases, they just go on, right? And then if I produce a paper the next morning about exactly what's in the press release, you don't even buy it because you know it, right? So a lot of things have happened along the lines. We are not what we used to be. But the most difficult part is we can't go back to what we were. We have to keep on going. But by keeping on going, this is exactly why one of the 7 C's of communication is courtesy, right? Whatever you put out there, make sure that you are courteous enough to the next person so that you don't cause pain. Because everyone else has got family, right? So the 7 C's, right, that you guys must be using, courtesy is one of those. Unfortunately, courtesy sits at the bottom. I don't even know why. So the issue of privacy, that's where it's debatable. Because I can argue to you that the people have got the right to know. That's exactly why I put this thing. So it will be up to the court now to say, fine, did the people really have the right to know? But even if I say the people, who do I represent? Who is it that I've gone out to ask, do you want to know this? Or I'm just assuming. Yeah?
Yeah, my name is Elifas Kowinga, Chief Inspector Nampo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wonder, yes,
Yeah.
social media. Social media these days,
Yeah.
good side and bad side.
Mm-hmm.
This is what is currently happening. Any case that is picked up,
Yeah.
crime that is committed, the journalists will either go to the venue or pick up that information and post it.
Mm-hmm.
And come back to Nambo to confirm. Sometimes us also, we are following this information,
Yeah.
social media, and we will pick up. And before even commenting, we will say that, but it's already out there. What is there to confirm is now to cover up.
Mm.
Because in many a times, it is that the victims' names, we withdraw. We don't share victims' names.
Yeah.
In rape case and whatever, we don't. We take it out.
Mm.
But then, the interviews will proceed from the general side,
Yeah.
interviewing the suspect. Be it on television, social, on video, whatever.
Mm.
But then what is, hiding away? So that is the part that we are being concerned with. But when it comes to AI, look at police side, we have WH questions. So there's no way that AI will penetrate the NAMPO system. To say NAMPO system, but information that we are sharing.
Yeah.
Why we are saying that is because the names, the venue, the place, and all that is strictly, that's the information that we are sharing.
Yeah.
It is now up to the journalist to either use AI
Yeah.
and to confuse people, if the other way around. But otherwise also to make it easy for people. But statistics, there we are always telling journalists, no, please, give us time.
Yeah.
Because these are not readily available information. So that is only that part, but the rest, we always keep on time. And we applaud certain media houses that are really working very much with us.
Yeah.
But there are few that, as you mentioned, they are juniors that probably enter the system, and that's where maybe the mistake lies. But otherwise, we are so far so good.
Yeah. All right. One thing that you need to consider, for you not to be not to leave it until such a time when the media comes knocking on your door. You need to consider opening WhatsApp groups. Then I know there are some police regional they have those. So anything that happens, that takes the pressure off you. So if you open a WhatsApp group and then you have all the journalists there, then you can, even if you have got nothing major to put out, but at least keep it alive. Any small thing that happens within your company, put it there, because all what you want is your company's name to be visible. Now, we don't communicate just for the sake of communicating. Visibility is one of the things why we send out information. Your company has to be known, right? Now, if you are visible, you are also accountable, right? So open these WhatsApp groups for you to be able to communicate, right? Put up anything. And I know there's a lot that goes on in companies. Just keep the media updated, right? You can have that, and you can have a lot of other things that you can use to keep the people in the loop. But if you go quiet, then when the guys get a story about your company, they will then say, this one doesn't even talk to us. Then they will have to hammer, right? So if there is a relationship, then people will actually consider, guys, what I'm saying here is what I know. Journalists are human beings. They will say, I got her or I got him, right? So I'm not saying you need to go and beg, no. All what I'm saying is keep a relationship, keep it warm, so that whatever happens, then you will be the first one, right? Don't wait for the media thinking that this information is not going to go out. There's nothing that you can hide today, nothing, right? You can't hide anything. So you need to be ahead of them. Something happens now, then you have to put it out. Guys, we've got this situation now, and we are dealing with it. We will keep you updated. But if you wait for them to come and start questioning and you pretend as if you don't know, then it's all out there. Yep.
Thank you very much. My name is Martin from Defense.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take it back to press release.
Yeah.
Yeah. Press release has three things involved.
Mm-hmm.
Number one is the one who's commissioning. Number two is the one who issued the press release. And number three is the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
In some of the institutions, a communication officer is asked to write a press release. But that press release has to go through bureaucracy.
Yeah.
20 officers.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes back to you, it's something else. The language is totally different. In here, we are talking about the language. So now, you have to send the press release to the media.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the relationship is coming in again. Because that press release is no more to change the perceptions. It's instructing.
Yeah.
It's instructing. And there we have to be very careful with what we write to the media.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's also affecting our relationship with them.
Okay.
The bureaucracy is killing some of the institutions. Politics involved. Sometimes you are forced to defend the person instead of, stand up for the system. Because for us, it's to defend the system.
Yeah.
Not individuals. So I think you also need to touch on the bureaucracy, the relationship, as you have just alluded here, and also the who should issue the press release, because we have different, we have two different people sometimes in the office who can issue the statement. I have different relationship with the media. And if you find me my press release, the response will be overwhelming. And if my colleagues write that one, you find a negative response from the media.
Okay. All right. I'll take two
Sorry,
here.
I just wanted maybe as should I introduce myself?
Yeah, sure.
Marceline Morapo from City Police. But I just wanted to say, as you are responding to him, maybe to look at two things: media relation officers or public relation officers at the security agencies, as well as the civilian part. Because
Yeah.
with us, I know there is that security issue. Sometimes certain information need to be withheld. So I think there's a slight difference there between
All right.
civilian officers.
I think because if it's going to be changed, if someone is going to change it, then there must be teamwork, because your job is to whitewash, right, to make things sound better. And there might be some big guy somewhere who thinks that you know the rights, what must be put out, but somebody else out there may not know. So you need to be right in there, because if you write it, send it up, they go and change it. But it's your name or it's his name. But look, security issues are actually tough, right? And the story that I did in the Sun today about August 26, we couldn't get anyone to come and comment, right? The story is there, the facts are there. No one came to give us information. Security and the police, you operate in a different, So the issue of press releases then, either you work together, because you can't go to the higher authority and force them. You make them see the way you see things, and then you advise them to say, let us do it like this. But I know there are some people who just think, because I am here, so you answer to me, that's it. So that makes your job tough. But by the look of things, if you are employed as the person who is in charge of communication, you must be the last person to say, this is what I want to send out, right? And if someone else comes in to say, no, we need to change this and this, you need to dig in, right? But you can't dig in, because then they will say. So I think your situation is a little bit tough. It is actually tough. But this is exactly where there is need for the bosses in the army or the police. I think the police, they are okay.
No, we are fine.
I think they're okay. Yeah. Where then we need to sit, right? You can invite someone like me, then we can actually sit with your bosses, and then we go through how information must go out. I know there is a lot of sensitivity around it, but how do you classify a national security issue? Or is something that is just in us to say anything about the army mustn't go out? Right. There was the issue of the plane, you remember? Right. It made like, I was actually there, and I saw the plane. I saw the pilots, the Chinese pilots, and we put that out, right? And it was denied, right? I saw the Chinese pilots going in the cabin, they were sitting there, right? And I was taking videos. But when we put the story out, it was denied. Only later, people then came back to say, yes, they are training people. But we were there and we saw it, right? So it's this issue that must change. But look, there are institutions like the army. Things can never change. Like so I don't even envy the job that you guys are. Right. I think what I'm going to do, the presentation there, I'm actually going to send it out. But in it, I am explaining the 7 C's of how you can communicate, because I didn't want to talk about the press release without us talking about the communication part of it. So for me, what must come first is the communication part of it, because the press release you are communicating. But more so that it's not a press release that has to be written, because there are a lot of things that must be done now. And I've seen some communicators who, when something happens, they take the time to go from one radio station to the next, explaining. And it's easier that way, right? Because then you also have to take questions and explain things and clear things, right? So you have got a lot of things that you can actually use now to put the information out, right? So if you just wait and then you pretend, like the issue of the plane. Someone was supposed to just say, our people are being taught how to fly them. Done. Just that. But it took like you were pulling out teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guys from Nampa, they will send this out. Unfortunately, I have to go back because my boss, whom I trained, is driving tomorrow here to Troivo. Funny enough that it's me who trained him. Now he's my boss. All right then. Okay. How's it?
The one. Hey, how are you?
No, good, man.
All is well, all is well.
Very well.
Otherwise?
No, good. No, good.
Excellent. No,
Yeah.
We are tapping.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you should. You should.
That was nice session. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to, yesterday, I think we need to meet and talk about this.
I'm fighting
Thanks.
with tablet now. I'm trying to say, I'm fighting like nobody business. Yeah.
We know what we are talking about here is to differentiate what, because classification, informations, sometimes is not really applied. Everything, like in the case of the airplane.
Yeah.
It was said, no, we should not cover the arrival of the airplane, but they invited the media to cover the airplane. Now you don't understand. What is the reason to invite the media? To the
cover
arrival,
what?
the reception.
Yeah.
What do you have to, if you don't want them to publish it? What is the reason? Those are the things that sometimes we need to invite you.
Yeah, you see when such things happen, because Dr. Mato was talking about patriotism.
Yeah.
Americans, they put this out, right? But we have this tendency of hiding.
Yeah.
You think you hide, but today you can't hide things. I need to go.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, what's up?
Wonder, why don't you call me?
When?
Just call me.
When?
Check on me.
Check on you.
Yes.
How many times must I be checking on you?
Once a month.
All right.
You can have this tiny device.
Okay. I was very good. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Steven, what's wrong with your number?
You have the one that I sold to MTC.
Who is?
And they couldn't renew it.
Someone, I don't know whether it's my wife, is deleting people's numbers. Because I wrote MICT wrong. No, apparently I want to confuse her. I want to confuse her. So you have to delete everything. They are all the same. You have to delete everything that is suspicious.
Yeah,
no.
My wife needs you.
You must write the name. You must write the full name. You must write the full name.
Your wife needs you.
No, don't confuse me. Delete this one. MTC what?
You want to confuse me.
Is this